Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is the Real Estate Marketing Roundtable. We have got incredible co-hosts with me. I got Mr. Jake Wolf. I have Mr. Nick Sakis. Mr. Gene Volpe is out jet-setting around the world, eating caviar, drinking champagne with his pinky in the air the entire time as he does it. We're going to be talking about some incredible stuff, guys. We're going to go over 3+ things that you can put into your marketing plan today. They're going to generate some leads. We're going to talk about geofencing, subscribing to Hero. Hey, if you guys don't know what Hero is, we're going to go over that. We're going to talk about video. We're going to talk about joining podcasts or even creating your own, prioritizing SEO, and so much more. You guys have to stay put. But before we get to our content, here is our countdown. All right, we're back. All right, so let's talk about some incredible stuff. Before we do that, I want to introduce my incredible co-host, Mr. Nick Sakos. Where are you from? What's your favorite color? And do you like long walks to the supermarket or to the beach? What's your favorite one?
From Tampa Bay, as we can all see right here on my screen. I do not like walking to the supermarket anymore because everything's too fucking expensive. And sand in your butt crack is not fun either. So I don't know. I'm biased on that one. I'd rather be on a boat fishing.
Okay, bah humbug to you. All right, fishing to you. Mr. Jake Wolf, what is up, my friend? How are you? You are venturing off in a new venture, and you're in your new office today. It's why you're not in your new facility, your old facility. So, for everybody who does not know you, who are you? Where are you from? And what in the heck are you doing in this new facility?
Yeah, I'm really big into leveraging marketing and advertising properly, and knowing what you're doing.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's a technical glitch on my side. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. My bad. Sorry, Jake.
No, so wonderful opportunity. We went ahead and purchased 2 RoofMax dealerships, and I've been working alongside of one of the sharks from Shark Tank, as well as thousands of additional dealers across the U.S. So we're leveraging our marketing and advertising pretty heavy, doing pretty awesome in Central Florida. So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Nice, man. I'm super pumped for you. I love the whole RoofMax thing. I'm looking into it myself. I know Nick is as well. Gene is as well. It's very, very fascinating. You're taking it to a whole new level. So let's talk about some marketing. I know we all have very, very busy days. We've got a lot of stuff to do, but we're going to talk about 3+ things they need to know about marketing that works in today's day and age. Now, there's a couple of things I want to throw over to. First off, I want to talk with Nick about SEO and kind of local, national, regional. Is that effective in today's day and era, or is it kind of gone by the wayside? How would you use SEO? Because a lot of big thinkers are out there saying continue to use it. This is what you do for a living. What's your opinion on this, my friend?
I think SEO it definitely has a bad rap. Number one, for a lot of small business owners that I talk to, because they've been scammed in the past from SEO agencies, right? So if you're talking to somebody and they're talking about ranking on the first page of Google within a month or two, that's typically a rank and rent, not necessarily a sustainable process, right? It's kind of a black hat anymore. Google can slap that with an algorithm. The real way to do SEO is to build for a long-term content, right? So we say build out your blog, have localized content, which now it used to be just doing the written word, which is still fine. It still works, but you are competing with a lot of people when it comes to blogs. And I forget off the top of my head, but if you were to say right now, and I'm just going to pull a number out of my butt, let's say 500,000, or let's say 5 million is a number. Let's say if you were going to start a blog, there was 5 million blogs that were currently active and ranking on the first page for every topic, right? So every topic, there's already a first page of all these blogs that are active. On the other hand, if you were to look at podcasts, and if you look at podcasting as an SEO type blogging platform, which it really is, it's just kind of a different generation of that, right? So if you were to say the most podcasts at launch don't get to 20 episodes. So if you can launch a podcast and get to 20 episodes, you're like in the top 1% of podcasts in the world right now.
Mhm.
And there's so much less competition to launch your own podcast and rank a podcast than there is to launch a blog and rank a blog. In my opinion, I think that's much easier. It's a faster path. Obviously, our friend Matt Johnson does this for a living with his company. I help people with podcasting as well. I think from an SEO perspective, it's just much easier to take a video podcast that you create that also you can turn that into a blog post that also can rank both written, video, and audio in all three aspects. So if you were going to do the best bang for your buck, I would say that. On the other side of that, when I say SEO is usually a scam, it's because it's a long-term play, right?
Mhm.
You could literally, I mean, in an ideal marketing world, if you were to come to me and say, I want to launch this brand, I want to do this thing, you would start paid advertising and SEO at the same time. So what ends up happening is your paid advertising right out of the gate, you start getting leads and sales. And then as you have your SEO rank, as you build your brand authority, you kind of come to a crosshairs, and that crosshairs usually happens 18 to 24 months. So you're consistently creating content in your business while you're also doing paid advertising. You get to a point where they meet, and now you're getting just as much paid advertising leads as you are organic advertising leads. That's when you make the decision, do I want to scale or do I want to taper down my paid advertising and let my SEO ramp up? And that's the golden parachute. That's what SEO is for. So that eventually, if you're doing it properly for years, this isn't a month-long thing. This is a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Your organic SEO traffic will be more than your paid traffic. So that's like the golden parachute. But 99.9% of agents, small businesses, never do that because they don't see the immediate response in the beginning, and it peters out, and then they don't end up doing anything with it. So I usually steer people away from SEO unless they have a business that's been established and they understand the process and they're very clear that it's a long-term play.
Okay. Great explanation. I love that. A lot more that I do not understand about that, but I like where you're coming from. That's good stuff. I did quick searches here while you were talking. There are roughly 600 million blogs as of 2020, and there are 2.4 million podcasts. So, I mean, we're going to get into podcasting and everything else in a second, but I want to kind of throw those numbers out there because those are big numbers. Now, are people really active, Nick, on a lot of those, or are they pretty much just dead weight?
No, that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot more active blogs than there are active podcasts. So it's still a fairly blue ocean when you think about it. Blogging has been around for 20, 30 years, easy at a high level, right? Podcasting hasn't been around as long. So if you're committed to that, plus your repurposing of the content, if you're really thoughtful about it, like that 100%, to me, if you're thinking about an SEO strategy for your business, start that podcast and get that content going. If you're literally just paying somebody, you don't want to be the face of the brand. You just have a brand name that's out there. You're paying somebody to write articles for you. Like that's one thing, but you're not going to pay somebody anything less than $1,500 a month easily. Like that's a couple of articles a month. That's not even a really good SEO writer, somebody who's going to create unique content for you, is $4,000 to $5,000 a month minimum to create a really good article for you, say once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do that article once a week for at least 6 months to even start seeing traffic, much less leads and sales, and probably 18 to 24 months of that consistent $5,000 to $6,000 in spend for you to see any kind of ROI from that. Whereas on the other side, paid ads, we could turn on $5,000 of paid ads and we can track ROI in a month, right? So it's a much faster process, which is why we typically go towards paid advertising for the most part in the beginning, for sure. But the other thing I want to bring up, local SEO, like one thing that every small business should have dialed in is their Google My Business page, or just now Google Business, right? So if you want to really Google Business and local service ads from an SEO perspective should be the number one thing that you're focusing on. Like, forget the blogging, forget the podcasting. Just if you don't have a Google Business profile that you're posting content to daily, that you're getting reviews for, like that, you should definitely go on YouTube and search how to do that. There's a million videos on how to do it. That should be a top priority for you locally.
Okay. I like that quite a bit. I want to take a quick little deviation from kind of SEO, and I want to get a little bit more top of funnel. I'm going to go over to Mr. Jake Wolf, talk about some geofencing. What the heck is a geofence? How does it work, and how can it plug and play into what Nick was just talking about, SEO, and kind of get more visibility?
And geofencing is a phenomenal communication bridge to your consumer, right? Think about identifying somebody at an addressable level, or inside of a neighborhood, or in a business type location, serving advertisements to their smart devices wherever they go on major sports news, things like that. What's really nice now with connected televisions, OTT advertising stands for over the top. Basically, everybody that has a smart Roku television or Fire Stick, things like that, we can identify those televisions inside of people's homes and then serve 30-second commercials to them. So as it pertains in the real estate space, what a great way for you to maybe feature a listing inside of the neighborhood, or do some circle prospecting around a sold, things along those lines, right? So a lot of home service related industries, including multiple of my businesses, we utilize OTT advertising. Great way. It's when people have their televisions on, now all of a sudden we're serving them advertisements. So it's a way for you to get very specific as far as who you are wanting to serve your advertisements to. And this is definitely outside of the social advertising sphere. So geofencing is something that businesses successfully incorporate into their communication. What's really nice is retargeting opportunities with people that might have came to your website. Now all of a sudden you can deploy these commercials back to their television. So it really gives a good initial advanced way to get your brand out in front of people, gives you an opportunity to choose who your audience is, and also is a wonderful communication tool to get your brand in front of folks that have visited your website.
Yeah, really good information there. I love geofencing because it's one of those things that nobody really knows about. They may have heard about it. It's like you hear a ghost story. It's like it's a figment of your imagination. You're like, oh yeah, I've heard about that. I mean, yeah, that could be cool. But when you put it into action, it is absolutely a decimation tool that you can just crush your local community in a positive way with good information, and you become top of mind. I'm going to switch over to something that actually is really important for me when it comes to marketing and strategies. It stands for HERO. It's HARO, HERO. It stands for Help a Reporter Out. You'll get 3 emails a day. It is free to sign up for, and you can scan through. And these are national publications, local publications, regional publications, and they will tell you exactly what they're looking for in articles. All you have to do is do a very quick response back to the individual who's writing the different articles. Who do we need to murder? Yeah, we're going to murder somebody. And they're dead in my book. Yes. No, but seriously, HERO is something I was kind of playing around with. I've had a guest on my show several times, and she talked about how she's gone from 0 to hero. No pun intended, in regards to using this system. It's 100% free. Get in there and you I've been featured in books, magazines, interviews, all kinds of stuff, purely by going like, oh my gosh, you're talking about blank. I can help you with this. This is my background. This is how I've been beneficial to other folks. Hit me back if you want to do something. So then you can take that and you can give it over to Nick. They can turn it into SEO stuff. You can take it over to Jake. He can do geofencing with this new article. Publicly, giving you accolades in regards to what you are really good at. So HERO, HARO. Go check them out, guys. It is 100% free, and you can start getting visibility in a lot of different places where your competition just are not looking.
I put it in the comments too, so if you want to throw it up on the screen, it's helpareporterout.com.
There it is, right there. We'll keep that out there for a little bit. Helpareporterout.com.
And you can have fancy logos on your website that you've been on Fox and other awesome syndicated news channels. You've seen that. Everybody, if you go to somebody's website and it's like as seen on here, they're probably syndicating through some of these portals.
Yep, 100%. Let's talk about video and live streaming. Let's kind of discussion for all of us on this one. Nick, I'm going to bring it up to you really quickly. When it comes to video, you do a lot of editing and everything else. Where do you see video going? Is it something that's still viable? Is it something we should still keep doing? If so, where should we focus our time and energy?
I don't think you should focus your time and energy on Facebook Lives anymore. We do this as a legacy because we do have an audience here. I think to your effort right now, and I'll give you a reason behind this. And I want a lot of the stuff that we talk about on this show, or I want you to think about marketing as human psychology, and I want you to think about how you actually interact with things personally yourself. What happens to us as individuals is we haven't marketed a lot. We might throw up a couple of videos. We will watch our own boring 10-minute video because it's us.
Mm-hmm.
But average watch time on any social media platform is about 45 seconds. Okay. So if you take into account that for the majority of everybody out there, that the maximum amount of viewership that you're going to get per video that you produce is 45 seconds, that should make you rethink the content that you're putting out there. Okay. If you are spending all week thinking about a topic to do a video about, and then all day getting up the nerve to film a piece of content that you have thought about all week, to then go back and spend 3 to 4 to 5 hours to edit said piece of content to publish it for somebody to watch it for 15 seconds. If you really knew the numbers behind it, you probably wouldn't put that much effort behind it. Okay. And that's where live video really came into play a couple years ago, because it was easy. It was easy to go live. It was unfiltered. It was raw. People really, the emotion behind it was there because this guy's not doing any kind of real fancy editing. The problem with that is live videos are typically boring, and not boring in the content, because a lot of times people drop really good content, but we've gotten so spoiled with our attention spans, with our TikTok finger, that if something isn't interesting to us within 10 seconds, we're gone. We're not waiting. We're not sitting through the ums and the ands and, hey guys, let me pull up my screen real quick and show you what I want to talk about. We're not waiting around for that anymore. So really quick, to the point, subjects, really quick to the point, topics, really good editing, right? If you look at the most, so I wanted to bring this up today. Mr. Beast, we've talked about him before, the absolute king of YouTube. The guy's a freaking animal. He just opened up a Mr. Beast burger in New Jersey, like literally a physical location. So if you think about this from a perspective of marketing, everybody's running away from malls. Everybody's running away from physical locations. This guy is a YouTube king, gets hundreds of millions of views per video, has a gigantic following, one of the biggest YouTubers in the country, in the world, I guess you would say. And he has a burger franchise that during the pandemic, you would license your burgers or his burger franchise as a ghost kitchen in your restaurant. So this guy saved a lot of local restaurants during the pandemic because he allowed them to have the Mr. Beast Burgers licensing. They cooked it in their kitchen. People ordered it from DoorDash or Uber or whatever. They ran for 2 years and had no physical locations. And he helped save restaurants in the restaurant industry during the pandemic because he has such a big online following that just placing his name in somebody's restaurant helped them retain employees, which is awesome. The only reason I'm bringing this up is he opened up a physical location, the first physical location in a mall. They literally had like 30,000 people show up for the first day. They had to shut down the mall because there was so many people, right? That's the power of having really good video content and creating a really good brand. Mr. Beast doesn't necessarily go live. He did live in the beginning with streaming years ago. If you watch his videos now, they're very quick. They're very to the point. The first 1 minute of every Mr. Beast video probably has 40 to 50 cuts of edits of things going on. So I want you to focus right now on what kind of content you're putting out there. It's got to be quick. I say no more than 45 seconds if you can help it. And the more editing that you can do on the back end to get people's attention, the better off you're going to be, the more people you're going to get to follow you. And be native on your phone. Vertical phone. Don't worry about the DSLR cameras or any of that other horseshit. Be native on the phone in the platform 45 seconds. If you're doing anything over 45 seconds, it better be really, really interesting.
Okay. All right. So interesting is the key. And there, why is it spotlighted on me? Don't do that. All right, Jake, give me your opinion on that.
I agree.
Oh, a man of many words, but very in depth when he does speak.
I have a hard stop in 4 minutes, but action is the most important part, right? Taking action in your business and getting out there and capitalizing on what works and doing more of that. And what doesn't work, sometimes it needs a little bit more time to marinate, so to speak. So, but I firmly believe in long-term SEO strategies. I firmly believe in advertising as well. If you're going to start moving out to accentuate your brand in any business, you have to be advertising. If you're not, your business is virtually dead. Also working on organic search engine optimization strategies. There's also short-term things that you can do inside of social, and it really comes down to indexing. Indexing is when the actual search engines are crawling and finding most relevant, up-to-date information regarding a topic. So think about any of the keywords, long or short, that your prospective customer might go ahead and put inside of a search engine. So there's things that you can go ahead and do inside of social. And one of the great hacks that I'm going to go ahead and leave you with today is identifying a keyword that somebody might be searching for relating to you or your business, and then building a good post inside of even Facebook, maybe capitalizing all caps as far as what the keyword is, make sure that your name is there, your URL to your website, and then a good piece of body of information inside the social post. The search engines have been trained to go ahead and identify relevant information on social media, and those pages do get indexed short term. So you could have a good 2 to 4 week type ranking inside of organic search results on Google for something that you posted properly on Facebook. So, but think about those posts just like you would a blog or some type of written information. The actual search engines, their job in life is to go ahead and serve the most relevant, up-to-date, credible information to us as searchers. So you can use some social posting to go ahead and get yourself kind of ahead in the short-term SEO game. But I would say speak with somebody like Nick to identify strategies for long-term SEO optimization. It will pay off in dividends in the end. It is literally a long game, but you'll be able to scale down advertising and increase your organic relevancy, which will pay off in the end. So,
all right. Excellent content there as usual. Jake, you are 2 minutes, but maybe a minute 30 till bingo. We'll let you go a little early because I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Nick and I are going to go over one more topic. Nick, I'm going to do Russian roulette with you. We're going to figure out what we want to do. But Jake, before you log off, how do people get a hold of you? Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do to add value to people's lives?
Well, if you need to get in touch with me, contact Nick Sakis, and he'll know the best way.
There you go.
Have a blessed day, everybody.
All right, later, buddy.
See ya.
All right. So, Nick, we have our choice here of our last topic before we log off for the day, because today's going to be a little bit of a shorter show. Not a bad thing. Everyone's got shit to do. We can either talk about setting up automated email marketing campaigns, or we can talk about voice tech with Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant, and kind of where that's going to be going and how you can tap into that branding opportunity for your business.
Oh, you just set off my Amazon.
Hello, Alexa.
Yeah. Don't order anything.
Can I get 6 pairs of shoes, size 2, please?
Size 2. Nice.
All right. So you want to let's do the audio then. Let's talk about that a little bit. It's kind of interesting. Would you agree, or do you want to go over the email marketing, which we've done a million times?
I do think, I think a lot of our listeners listen to Gary Vee. It's kind of hard not to be in small business and not get pinged by Gary Vee. He's been talking about the audio side of this for a long time. I think audio marketing is almost like virtual reality. It is going to be a thing. It's going to be much more. Look, Alexa, go to sleep. trying to order 2 shoes right now. Size 2 shoes. So yeah, I do think Alexa and all those devices, you know, in the long term, because you got to think about, it's more cultural than anything. Like, can you create skills right now? They're called skills, to where when people ask the devices for things, you would rank. The answer is yes. How many people are asking these devices for things to rank? Not many, right? Just like virtual reality. Virtual reality, we all know for sure it's going to be the thing in 10 years. But how many people are actually putting on goggles right now to go into a virtual space? Not that many. So for me, as a marketer, I say something to keep your eye on, but I would not, by any stretch of the imagination, pay somebody or go into a strategy of saying right now, I'm going to put all my eggs in the audio only basket, just because there's not enough relevancy in that space right now. And again, think back to your own human behavior. You know, are you asking your smart device right now when the next open house is? Probably not, right? Maybe on your phone, maybe on your Google Assistant, maybe on Siri, you might say, what's the closest one to me if I'm there? But that's not, no one's looking at houses for sale like they would on a blog post or would find you on YouTube or even TikTok now, because Jake mentioned indexing, and you can index now on TikTok. It's very searchable. And it is becoming more and more of a powerhouse for search versus just regular YouTube right now. So I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket by any stretch of the imagination. Is it a thing? There's very few softwares right now that you could even do it with. So it's very limited.
Okay. You know, the funny thing is my girlfriend uses her Google Assistant all the time for cooking, for directions, for pretty much anything.
Right.
I believe I heard about a year or so ago, before the pandemic, that you could, you know, basically do your own little blog or daily affirmations or something like that, but people would have to subscribe to you.
Right.
So first they have to know that you exist, then they have to
Right.
subscribe to you, then they have to, you know, put it in the playlist. So it's very labor intensive from what I've
And
seen.
it only stays up for a week. So like, talk about being
Right.
very intentional with it. It's not like you could create one post and have it just live there like a blog post, right? Searchable forever. They go up and down in a week's time.
You know, I get the funny feeling. I was dating a girl probably, like, I don't know, 15 plus years ago. I mean, it's been a minute, right? And she was the head of catering at a very nice steakhouse here in the area. And she came over to my house one night and she was like, "Hey, have you ever heard of these things called QR codes?" I'm like, "What the fuck is a QR code?" She's like, "Well, they use them in cars and you can scan them and you have information on them." And I'm like, that shit is fucking stupid. Like, who's gonna use that? I mean, it's like a drive-by shooting. You have to, like, stop, stay, download, upload,
Yeah.
different apps, everything else. Well, that's completely transformed. It went through a metamorphosis. I mean, when you go out to restaurants now, at least during the pandemic, you know, that happened a little while ago. Some folks still live in that reality that's still happening, but we'll leave that dog to die another day. But you go to a restaurant, you take your camera out, and boom, you just take a photo or just hover over the QR code, and all of a sudden you get the full menu, and it's a touchless event, right? When it comes to getting served a nice bowl of ramen or something along those lines. So, in your mind, are we back 10 to 15 years ago when it comes to the Siri Alexa, order chocolate cake? Nick's like, "You son of a biscuit." Google Assistant, all this stuff. I mean, they're there. Like the QR codes were there. We just didn't utilize them. So is there something to be said to get ahead of the bandwagon and start building a brand on these different vocal and audio platforms? Now, I use my mornings with McDaniel on Facebook Lives as basically it's therapeutic for me. It's something
Right.
I'm dealing with, I'm going through, or I see in the world that I just want to barf back out with my opinion on it. Is this a platform where you can do something like that, or do you have to keep it much more high and tight?
No, I mean, so again, there's strategies behind everything. The Facebook Live thing, let's use your case, perfect example. You have over 5,000 people that follow your Facebook page because you've been cultivating it for years.
Mhm.
Does it make sense for you to continue to cultivate that page? Yes. somebody who has a Facebook page that hasn't really been engaged with it, that wants to start doing Facebook Lives because they heard it was the cool thing, and they've also might have heard recently that it's coming back, I would say don't waste your time. I would say try to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok as fast as possible, and that way you can go live on TikTok, right? So like I just look at it in terms of the best strategy for, again, everybody's different. Every variation is different, but just knowing where we're headed right now to put the time and effort into that Facebook arena, might as well do a video podcast. You might as well pre-record it. You might as well edit it, make it as nice as you possibly can, post it on YouTube, syndicate it out on a podcast platform, and run it everywhere. Like on podcast platforms, you can run it to Skills. You can have that be, if somebody subscribes to you on their smart device, have that in audio from podcasting form. So again, that goes back to like two birds with one stone. Podcasting can be searched. It can be turned into a blog post. That can be your local SEO play. You could also turn that into Skills for smart devices. And if it's a video podcast, then now you're chopping up content. So like, to me, one thing checks a bunch of different boxes. And I always look at it from that perspective, right? The QR code, I think the QR code made out better than anybody during the pandemic. I mean, that was basically a dead technology that nobody cared about. Now all of a sudden, it is expected. You go to restaurants now and you expect to hold a physical menu and also have the option for a QR code. They're everywhere. Everybody knows how to use them. It did get a resurgence. I don't see that same thing happening with Facebook Lives or long form content. You better have something good to say. You better keep it concise. But better yet, right now, man, I would be focusing way more on 45 seconds or less pieces of content, doing it more and more often. Yeah, that would be.
So would you bait people on short form content to go back to your YouTube channel where you have the full video, so they get the snippet on on any of these different portals that we talked about? But I mean, the one thing that keeps coming back to my mind is Snapchat. People were all about Snapchat, all your filters, all the things you could do. I went to so many conferences, and grown adults were like giddy over Snapchat and what they could do with it. Snapchat went by the wayside of with the dodo bird.
Yeah,
just
well, it's still good if you're in the dating scene, right?
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
oh well,
every platform has a purpose. That's what I say right now. So if you look at it that way, same thing with you were all hopped up on what was the audio platform?
Oh, the one that shoot, totally drawing a blank, but I know what you're talking about.
Post in the comments. You guys know what we're talking about. Greg was really hot on it for a long time. That kind of fell by the wayside too, because again, it's long form now. Also, long form not really searchable. You're spending so much time and effort and energy. Unless you already had a big name, you probably weren't filling up a lot of rooms. Clubhouse, rooms with a bunch of people. Coming out of the gate, you could get in a room with Grant Cardone. Like that was really cool, and the access to that was really fun. But that's kind of really died down. Right now,
I was in a room with Grant yesterday, and I was underwhelmed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
by the quality of the content that was coming out. And I was like, dude, why are you in this room, bro?
Like, but that's the thing, man. So right now, people's attention spans, their patience, if you want to call those two things the same, are so short, and we've gotten so spoiled from a free content smorgasbord that we have access to right now, that we're not giving anybody 30 seconds of our time unless it's really good and concise and to the point. So like, I really think right now, if you're, and again, most of the stuff I'm saying right now is for real estate agents. We're talking real estate uncensored, small business owner, service type business, documenting what you're doing on a daily basis and putting out your content in the form of you're going to answer one question. This isn't a show, right? If you're going to do a podcast, fine, make it a podcast. But like most of the content you should be producing right now is not going live on Facebook and doing a house tour, right? That nobody's watching those. Okay. Pre-record that, turn that 5-minute video of you walking around the house into 25 seconds and do a voiceover and put it on TikTok. That 25-second video that's a 5-minute condensed film will get watched and will get views. It's that time factor. No one's willing to wait for you. They want everything faster. So I say right now, whenever I talk to clients, the number one thing I tell them from video perspective, 45 seconds or under. If you can't condense it down to 45 seconds, it's probably too long unless you got something really cool going on or you're doing an interview with somebody. And again, that's just my opinion from seeing, I don't know, hundreds of videos edited. Like, pay attention to the first 30 seconds of a video that you find interesting. Hell, pay attention to the first 5 seconds of a video that you find interesting. If you're finding yourself scrolling through social media, try to pay attention to the ones that actually stick. What makes you stop? If you're watching a video and it's not just because it's someone you like, if you're scrolling through mindlessly and all of a sudden you find yourself watching somebody you've never seen before, and now you're on a minute-long video of this person that you don't even know, what got you to watch that video? Watch the video over again. Watch the first 30 seconds. I guarantee you there was movement. There was something going on. There was a zoom, something that caught your attention. You're not just staring at a camera at a boring office setup. People just don't respond to that anymore.
Yeah, it's stagnant is like, being like a stagnant pond. It grows a lot of algae, not the stuff you really want to consume. It just gets old really quickly. You want free flowing water, free flowing content. Get out there, be energetic, be entertaining, be inspiring, be encouraging. I like watching weird shit on TikTok. I like to know about all kind of the weird creatures that are supposedly, all you guys listening to my voice right now I'm doing air quotes. Because there's so much weird shit out there, and they catch my attention with some weird graphic they have behind me. I'm like, ooh, that looks crazy. I'll take a look at that. But I'll sit and listen to the whole TikTok 2 to 3 minutes in regards to what they have to say. So, Nick, we have covered a ton of content in this show. We've talked about geofencing. We've talked about subscribing to HARO Hero for help a reporter out, live streams versus videos. We talked about priority SEO, which you cover like a master. We just talked about tech, voice technology. So if you guys are just signing in, listening to this, go back and listen to the entire thing. We talked about QR codes, Snapchat, all kinds of crazy stuff. So Nick, I want you to give us some of your final takeaways, and then we are going to close this bad boy down. Let everybody go back out there and make some more money.
Yeah. So bringing it all home, there's only 2 ways that you can market yourself, right? You're either branding or you're generating leads. And this is a fundamental shift in perspective. Okay. So whenever you're creating content, whenever you're doing anything marketing wise, whether it's paid or organic, think about right now, what am I doing? Am I building my personal brand, or am I trying to generate leads?
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it in those 2 buckets, because those are the only 2 ways that you're going to advertise. Okay. And if you think about those 2 buckets, and if you think about like the 80-20 rule, are you 80% building a personal brand and 20% doing sales, or vice versa, or whatever? So think in your mind, what does that relationship look like? Because if you are, and I get this a lot where it's like, I tried Facebook ads and it didn't work. Or I tried YouTube ads and it didn't work, or I've been doing this and it didn't work, because you're going into something with a branding style ad expecting immediate ROI call to action results, and it doesn't work, right? If you have to distinguish and know exactly what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with building your personal brand. That's what social media is all about. But don't expect to do a video helping somebody, creating value, not do a call to action or any sense of urgency or anything. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, Nick, I've been doing videos for like 30 days. I saw this podcast and they told me to do 30 videos in 30 days. And I haven't gotten one lead from any of those videos. And it was so much work and I'm so disappointed. It's been 30 days and I got nothing. And you go back and audit the videos, and all the videos are just you doing a personal brand. There's no call to action. There's no sense of urgency. There's no unique selling proposition. There's no reason for me to reach out to you. I've built a relationship with you. I like some of the stuff that you're talking about. I appreciate the fact that you covered these dog parks in this area or this new construction development, but you never told me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You never told me that this is what I do, how I can help you save money on your move, or don't talk to this builder before you talk to me because I know the inside. I can get you hardwood floors for free. Like, you have to be very intentional. Marketing is a fundamentally, you have to just tell people what to do. So if you're
Yeah.
not telling people to call me, if you're not telling people to click this button, they're not going to do it. Which is why you watch YouTube videos and it might seem like a crazy, like, if you watch 20 YouTube videos, everybody knows that when you're on YouTube, you should subscribe if you like a channel. Everybody knows that you should hit the like button if you like something. Why does every major creator on every single video say like and subscribe?
True. True.
Sometimes you hear that. If you're subscribed to somebody already, like, oh, I know, I'm already subscribed. What's the big deal? You have to just keep telling people what to do or they won't do it.
Yeah. You know, a lot of my favorite podcasts, Nick, you bring up a good point. By the way, everybody, if you like this podcast, like and subscribe to it right now on every
share it with
place.
all your friends. Damn
and
it.
share it with every coworker, your dog walker, everybody you know. Subscribe and share this podcast. It'll bring more value to their life and to your life, something like that. But I mean, all the major podcasts and the videos I get a lot of views on YouTube. Those are the videos where I told someone, what to do. I walked them down the path holding their hand. Guys, this is what you're going to learn. This is what's going to happen. By the way, if you like my video, if you like my past videos, you want to see future videos, man, go ahead and smash that that like button like you're smashing like an egg on the ground. Just blow that thing up. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe to every video you like on my channel. Until then, let's roll the tape. Let's get back to the content. Something like that. I'm making shit up as I go here, but
it's like a handshake, right? You meet somebody for the first time. You meet them in person. What do? You reach out your hand, you shake their hand, you say, nice to meet you. Like that's a subscribe. That's what you would do on YouTube. You're meeting somebody for the first time. Hey, I like you. You like me. Let's shake hands and subscribe to my channel.
That's actually a really good way of putting it, Nick, because I never thought about it like that. That it is a handshake. It's a okay, I like you. Okay, I like you back. Okay, good, cool. Okay, fine. We're gonna hang out together. Like I'm on TikTok in the mornings when I'm walking the dog and I'm looking at stuff and I'll flip through stuff pretty quickly. If it's boring or not interesting or if they're not energetic or entertaining, I'm gone. I'm done. I'll scoop onto something else and all of a sudden I see something I like and bam, I'll sit there and then I'll do dork out and I'll just go down their entire playlist and I'll just listen and watch all their videos. And then I'm like, okay,
30 seconds.
Like, subscribe. It's very simple, but it's so simple. It's hard because you can't get it out of your mouth. You're like, can you please subscribe to me? I feel like a narcissist, but it's not like that. It's like when you hand out a business card, it's the same difference. You hand a business card out to somebody. You're like, hey, here's my card. Here's two of them. Keep one to throw away and then keep the other one for call me when you need me. It's
one of the biggest keys to not make boring video is like, don't tell me what you do. Show me what you do. Right? Don't tell me, don't talk at me and tell me, show me. And this is why, so you'll see this too. You'll find yourself, there's a lot of guys that do this really well where they'll set up cameras. So like right now, if I was really going to practice what I preach, I should have my phone set up and have TikTok going right now, or at least recording in vertical video while I'm doing this content. And everybody's seen on TikTok when somebody's on an interview and they're looking this way. Right. So I'm looking this way because the camera's recording me this way. And from a viewer's perspective, this is like you being a fly on the wall in a room that you're not supposed to be in.
Really?
This is like a really powerful way for you to bring people in. You're not talking at them. You're still sharing valuable content. But this is from a voyeuristic standpoint, you as the viewer, it's very intimidating to stare down the barrel of a camera. And when a viewer, most people that are introverted, it's a nerve-wracking thing when somebody's looking right at the camera, right at you, because they're staring into your soul, right? Whereas if you just turn your head a little bit, now I'm in the room with that person, but I'm not looking right at them. It's much less intimidating. And if you see, there's a lot of creators out there, all of their content is just that. It's being interviewed by somebody else. Testimonial videos have been doing this for years, where it's like the producer's here, the producer's asking questions, but the video camera's pointed this way. Pay attention to that. That's a real easy way for you to generate some content.
That is fascinatingly interesting. As you and I both have no problem staring down the barrel of a camera. I mean, we'll stare at a camera all damn day.
Right.
This is our happy zone. A lot of folks aren't like that, but I love the whole idea of a fly on the wall. Because if everyone who's listening to my voice can't see what we're doing, Nick was looking directly at the camera, then turned to his left and looked diagonally to a figment off to the left. And that's where the camera or the interviewer was, but the camera was still shooting and it's on the side of his face. So I really enjoy that little tidbit there. I'm going to actually put that to use in some of my videos. So damn, man, I'm glad we stuck around for that last little tidbit. That's awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Probably should have done that in the beginning. We'd have more people stick around.
Yeah, well, you know what? The people who are real true fans, people who really want to get knowledge, who want to kill it in real estate, they stuck around. They get the goodness at the end.
Yeah, there you go.
Nick, since you're the only one on the show with me, one more time, where people can get a hold of you, kind of what you're doing, and just kind of talk a little bit about your business, and let's go from there.
Yeah, go to nicksakis.com. There's a couple different links there. If you're looking to buy or sell or relocate in Tampa Bay, our team can help you out. If you're looking for marketing help, go to getamplifiedmarketing.com. We can help you with video marketing or just completely automating your business through software. So you can scale to any amount of money that you want. Other than that, give me a follow, like, and subscribe to anything that I do. I'd appreciate it.
There it is. Super simple. Guys, if you like kind of what I've been putting out there for a long time, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Greg McDaniel, REU on Instagram, Greg McDaniel here on Facebook. And then shoot me a text. My best number is 925-915. 1978, like the year. Shoot me a text. Love to connect with you guys if you want to run some crazy marketing ideas by me, or if I can connect with anybody in my sphere that might bring a value asset to you guys. So, Nick, we're only going to put one color on this bow for the show. So, what's it going to be, buddy?
Man, that's a lot of pressure.
I know.
You know what? I'm wearing a hoodie right now because I'm freezing in my office. I keep my office really cold, but it's 99 degrees outside in Tampa Bay, so I'm going with red. We're red hot. It's September 7th. It should not be this hot outside.
Well, let's see here, Cupcake. Weather for us, you said it's 95 out there for you?
It was 99 yesterday. I don't know what it is today. I haven't been outside yet.
Dude, 2 days ago it was 113. Yesterday was 111. Today is going to be 101. Tomorrow is going to be 107. Then Friday is going to be 195. Dude, I'm white, bro. Like, this shit ain't right.
Yeah, it's too much.
That rhymed. It wasn't supposed to rhyme. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching our show today. Thank you for listening to our voices. The content we put out to you guys is 100% free. All you have to do is take it and put it into action into your business so that you guys can thrive, not just survive in today's market. It is changing, ladies and gentlemen. Nick, Gene, Jake, and I literally study this shit for a living because we love this stuff so much. So we filter out all the bullshit and bring the gems to you guys, at least in our eyes. So, guys, we're putting a red hot bow on the show for today. Mr. Nick Sakis, you're a legend amongst men. Thank you very much. Jake Wolf, Gene couldn't make it. Matt never makes it. That's because he doesn't like us on the Wednesday show. It's okay. We still give him snuggles and love. Guys, give us a like, give us a subscribe on any place you watch or listen to podcasts to help us grow our audience. Until then, thank you so much. We love you. Peace out, ninjas. We gone.